Right. Okay. Now, I wanna big y'all up for y'all podcast.
Hey.
The Shameless Audacity podcast.
Shameless
I have
Audacity.
heard a couple episodes, and that's why I wanted to bring y'all on for listening to y'all.
You guys are funny.
Listening to that, I was like, oh yeah, I definitely want to bring them.
What was one of your memorable moments that I'm gonna put you on the spot? See if you really listen.
Yeah, put me on the spot. So one of them, I think it was a story that you told. I want you to tell it on here.
God.
I want you to tell it. It was a dating story that you told where the dude was in the wheelchair.
Boy,
That I want you to tell. I want you to tell that story on here too.
okay.
So that
man.
was. Go ahead.
But see, okay, first of all, that was Rain's first time hearing the story. So
Okay.
Are we just gonna jump into it?
Jump into it. Yes.
Oh my gosh. All right, so
you met the dude where?
I met him on a dating site. I don't remember which one it was, but I mean, on his profile, he was like, I'm 6'3", you know, describing it. And you can see the pictures. Like, he was sitting down on all the pictures, and we talked for like a couple of weeks. Conversation was on point. Like, he was funny. So it was like, all right, well then, you know, we can vibe over the phone.
Was y'all
Let's
talking
see
on
if
the phone?
We were
or
talking on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Talking on the phone. Sent pictures, like, to prove that we were who we were.
Okay.
So then he was like, well, let's just meet up at the park over here in downtown Dallas. So, like, I'm like, bet. I get there first, and, you know, it's super crowded down on the park, and it's, like, a lot of people was there, and he's, like, calling me, like, where are you at? Like, and I'm like, I'm right here. Like, where are you? I'm looking around. I'm seeing dudes that could potentially be him, and I'm like, oh, he fine.
Yeah.
And then he's telling me, like, what he has on. I'm like, no, okay, whatever. So, like, I see this dude that's on the phone, like, he rolls by, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I wasn't paying any attention to it. So then he's like, what do you have on? I'm describing what I have on. Then all of a sudden, as I'm on the phone, I turn, and then this guy in a wheelchair is cruising up to my table, and I'm like, what? And let me also say, there's nothing wrong with disabled people.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with anybody in a wheelchair, missing a leg, whatever. But the mere fact that this dude tried to roll up on me literally, like nothing. He was like, oh man, traffic, man. I tried to find a parking spot. And I'm like,
you got handicap parking, nigga.
Where did you come from first? And so he introduced himself, like, hey, you know, and like I get up to hug, and you know, you got to bend over or whatever, and then he like proceeds to converse like he's not in a wheelchair, and I'm like, bro, like, and I go through the date, like I was a good date, I was a great sport.
Yeah.
But then I brought it up, and I'm like, hey, so let me just go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Why didn't you tell me that you were in a wheelchair? Not that that had anything to do with it. And he was like, oh, well, you know, I just wanted, like a lot of times I tell women that I'm in a wheelchair, they don't want to date me. And I'm like, well, come on, bro. Like, you got to be fair to give them a fair chance to be like, nah, that's too much. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I want my guy to be able. And then I also was like, you said you were 6'3". Where, bro? Like, I'm sitting down and I'm like sitting taller than you. Again, nothing wrong with people in a wheelchair. But I felt so okie doked. Like, but I told him I couldn't do it. I was just.
So it was a one and done date.
It was one and done. Like, as I'm walking away from the table, I'm like, blah. Like, nope. He was like, all right, I'm going to call me, let me know you made it home. I got it. Like, you don't have to worry about it.